you know, Mrs. Oswald, who's by then remarried and has a family. And my line was, I mentioned a famous person who had been an acquaintance of Lee when they were married, Lee and Marina Oswald. And right the night before he was supposed to testify before the Senate committee hearing, he shot himself in the head. This is true. So when she asked me about him, I said, in rehearsal as a joke, I said, he shot himself in the head 7 times. Do you know how hard that is to do? Just as a joke. Well, she looked at me and burst into laughter. And that was the last thing we got done that day. For the next 6 hours, every time she looked at me, she could not stop laughing. And what started out as a great joke on the set, about an hour and a half later, the director looked at me like, I want to kill you. And by 6 hours later, it's like, I don't think we can finish this movie. So I learned, it's fine to joke on the set, but you should know your coworker. Because I think she was so method-oriented that once I had broken the illusion that I was this character, I was just some guy who made her laugh, and there was no going back. So I learned a lesson that day.
It is hard when that happens. I mean, I can't think of specifics, but when you just can't get it back, and then the director's just pissed at you after a while. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Knowing that science fiction fans tend to be following authentic plots, can be very obsessive and can be very strange. What
Just checking.
What would be your strangest experience with a fan at a convention or running into someone on the street?
That face says it all.
Yeah, you look like you've got one. Mine is more strange for my boyfriend because I was in England and they had these guys dressed as Planet of the Apes. They were really good. Or maybe I was in Germany. I don't know. I have this jet lag. And they came down. Like 3 of them came all around me. I just came out of a talk like this and walked into the hall, and then I was bombarded with these apes. But they were all around my ear and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, hey, everybody's seeing my boyfriend! And yeah, and he's right out there. That makes him embarrassing. To an ape. But that's pretty much it. I get, just signing body parts. This is another one. I've signed all sorts of body parts. That's all I'm going to say.
There was a Voyager fan who had the entire spaceship tattooed on her butt.
What?
And asked me to sign it, which I refused. Not so much because I'm a prude, but I didn't want pictures of me signing somebody's butt on the internet forever. But that was the oddest one. I've really had no bad experiences.
No.
I haven't, I think it's tougher on the women in the show often, but I haven't had any bad. Aside from the guy who carved my face on a headstone and gave me that as a gift. And then I looked at him like, what are you saying to me? Are you going to kill me now? Do you think that Star Trek has killed my career? And he said, he just said, no, this is what I do for a living. And I wanted to give you a gift, so I had to carry that headstone, which was a piece of marble that thick, this big.
Oh my God.
I had to take it home in my carry-on bag. Now, when they open your bag at the and you're carrying your own headstone, they have to think you're an incredibly prepared individual, or that you just have a funny feeling about the flight. But I carried it home, and it sat in my garden now for about 10 or 11 years.
There's a photo of it.
And there's a picture of it in Canadian TV Guide.
Right,
There's
yeah.
me leaning on my headstone back when they did a special on Star Trek.
30 years.
They have the picture of me leaning on my headstone. Please don't give me anything made of stone today. Oh, we're getting the rap signal. So do we a final?
A final question.
All right.
Fans in general, what is your message to them, the people who have come out and keep coming out to these conventions to see you and support you and love you? What are your thoughts on all of that, maybe? How's that for fun?
Let's read for Captain. That's my thought to all of you. Right in. Thank you.
We thank you for loyalty, all right? I mean, I know that I heard when I first got involved doing conventions that some people would say, well, the fans want your autograph, and once they've got your autograph, they've sort of had you, and then you won't see them again. And that's turned out to be completely untrue, because I see many people many times over the years who come to because they enjoy seeing you and hearing you speak over and over again. So I call that incredible loyalty, and as Nicole said earlier, I think we're both grateful for that. It gives us the opportunity to travel. It helps put our children through college. It does all sorts of wonderful things in our lives. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I think we need you to exit because we're